Hello, everyone. Mary Lou Andre back for another edition of Beyond Dressing Well Live. It's been 2 weeks since we have been together. I'm back from my trip in Ireland a week ago. Tonight, I was in Dublin finishing up our 7-day trek across the pond. It was just so awesome. And we were at the church bar. We had to fit church in there somehow. But we were at this, I think that was probably my favorite dinner of all the dinners that we had. And we had so many amazing dinners. But we ended our trip, we started our trip in Dublin and ended it in Dublin. We stayed at the Hilton Airport Hotel the night before. Our flight was leaving on Thursday, and we decided to go back into Dublin for one more night, and boy am I glad we did. It was just such a wonderful restaurant, this old church that had been converted into a bar, and there was Irish step dancing going on. There was a band, and they actually played my song, Hello Mary Lou, Goodbye Heart. So that's how I ended my trip, was having this band, and then of course my co-travelers pointed out that I was a Mary Lou, so that was a lot of fun. But one of the questions that we get all the time on this show is how to pack. We get that from our private clients, people in our programs. A lot of you want more information on that. So when I was organizing tonight's program, I split it into 2 categories. I'm going to walk you through what I brought to Ireland, why I brought it, and how I packed it. And I packed a really tight suitcase to go over there for 7 days and 6 nights. And then I'm going to talk about some of the trends that I saw. Dublin was very cosmopolitan. That really surprised me. And then I'm going to finish up showing you some of the things that I bought. Hello, June Tarter. Hello, Phyllis Ward. Hello, Karen. Hello, Sheila. Welcome to our community. I saw you sign up this week. Welcome to our fun Wednesday night live show. So what I wanted to start with is the whole idea of Ireland really came crystal clear to me that I really wanted to go when we did the program on March 10th, 2021. A lot of you have been on the show since then with Janine Queenan. She's a travel expert who we have been partnering with. She actually works on all our retreats with me. She's been a guest on the show, but she's just a delight. And she's told me that Ireland was hands down one of her favorite places in the world. So then my son Tim was supposed to be in Ireland for his semester abroad, and that didn't happen because of COVID. But my nephew Andrew is there now, and my mom invited me and my sister-in-law to join her to go visit Ireland, to visit some of her relatives. And I have to tell you, I think Ireland, I have been many places. I think Ireland's one of my new favorite places. It was, the pace of it was wonderful, the people, the sheer beauty. Dublin was such a walkable city. We went, the whole country of Ireland is about the same size as the state of Indiana. Get your head around that. So we went from Dublin all the way to the West Coast in about 3 hours. My sister was amazing. She was our driver. And we just had this kind of leisurely time where we got to really take in the sights, really meet the people. The weather was chilly, rainy, not rainy. So part of my packing strategy revolved around that. And for those of you who have been on the program for a while, you know that one of my intentions in the new year was to do more travel. So I just feel extremely blessed. And, you know, for me, the benefits of travel are a time to check out, a time to get quick on your feet, a time for happiness and satisfaction. In a job like mine, it's a time to really sharpen my creativity. And I did all of that. I just think it's a stress reducer. Of course, if you lose your luggage in the airport, which didn't happen to us, I guess it could be a little stressful. But overall, travel for me, when it's planned well and you're looking forward to it, is just a slice of heaven. So how I started my pack when I got news that my mom was bringing us, and my mom's on the line. Just thank you, Mom. What an incredible gift you gave me, Ellen and Kathleen and Andrew, my nephew who's over there. But the first thing that I do, and I do this about 4 to 6 weeks out, because I want my trip to be part of my fun private time. You know, you guys all know that I love my clothes. So I set my rack up and I just start thinking about the trip ahead of time so that when I'm shopping, when I have a little bit of time on a Sunday afternoon, I'm just kind of getting in the mode. So our rack that you guys have seen on this show dozens of times, I pop that open in a spare room and I just start using that to rack my clothes. The next thing I did with a trip like Ireland is I picked a couple of coats and I then began to pack to the coat. And that's a strategy that I use with all of our private clients. It's like get your outerwear together and then let's pack to the coat. So my outerwear that I would have normally loved, my kind of trench coaty weather wear, I've got this beautiful trench coat that I love, but it's way too bulky and fancy for a trip like that. So I eliminated that. I have this, you know, really kind of fun pleather raincoat, very fun, but also just too fussy for this kind of a trip. And then I decided to go with olive green was one of my colors. And I love this coat and it was heavy enough, but it just felt too heavy. So I eliminated that and I ended up bringing 4 coats. Don't call me crazy, but 4 coats. And I kind of landed on olive green and black. So once I set up my rack, I decide on my suitcase, I pick my coats, then I pick my color scheme, and it became very obvious to me that olive green and black was the way to go. The next thing that I do is I pick my shoes. But before I did that, I just want to show you guys, I ended up bringing this coat. It's navy, so it broke out of the green a little bit, but it's got, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a little bit of green in there, olive green, and it's got black in it. So with this coat, which is kind of water resistant down here, it's wool up here. This raincoat, which I got in the airport in London, probably 7 or 8 years ago at Zara. We'll talk about Zara in a moment. Oh my goodness, did I have a blast at Zara. And then I was like, all right, what shoes am I going to bring? So I landed on my Uggs because they're comfortable and they can, you know, rain and muck and I can walk in them. Then my tried and true, where are they? My Stuart Weitzman. Oh my goodness, these things should write me a check. They're the most comfortable shoes that I own. So I brought those because they were high. I don't care if I get them all icky. And I packed those in the suitcase in the bottom with the Uggs. Then I brought these little slip-on sneakers, which, oh my goodness, I went with comfort. But I could get on the airport, you know, in and out of security. I had them when I was there. I took a yoga class over there. So these were just practical for going down to the lobby for breakfast, going to the yoga class, going to the airport, coming home. And even though I had these that are a little bit more fashion forward, and I love them, they're new last year, they're not as broken in, they're not as comfortable, and they were going to take up too much room in the suitcase. So I landed on the 3 pairs of shoes. Then I said, I'm going to Ireland and I want a raincoat. So I started my search for a yellow raincoat and I finally found one and I just love it. And of course it's got the black zipper, so it matched the boots, the sneakers. It could go with all black underneath, so I brought that. And then the 4th coat, this is one of my new obsessions. I just love it. This is a Zella. I got this at Nordstrom in the athleisure wear department, like the workout. But how sharp is that? So when I went on it was actually pouring rain when we left. We flew out of Logan at 9 p.m. on a Thursday night. But how I did this so that I could really pack is I wore a black t-shirt, black leggings, threw this on over. This also has a little hood. So this has a hood too. But I just loved having this little jacket and I wore it a lot. So again, it was 4 coats. 1, 2, the green. And then the other thing that I added was this little navy blue. Couldn't live without this. Uniglow. You guys have heard me talk about Uniglow. It's a Japanese brand, very, very affordable. But I had that to where, you know, it really connected to the blue and the blue. And again, because there's green and black, I had all the shoes that I need and all the underpinnings. So you pack from the coat, you make sure that you're dressing for weather, for warmth. It was cold over there a couple of days. So that's what I did. The next thing I did was I bought a new pair of PJs, because that's just what I do. I was rooming with my sister-in-law, so I bought a new pair of PJs. Why not? And then, and again, when I start preparing for a trip, I have time to look for the raincoat, refresh the PJs, whatever I need to do, so it's not so helter-skelter. And again, I have a little staging area. I had the suitcase out, so I knew the size of the suitcase. You know, I know some people measure. I have the suitcase that I knew would work for this trip. Then I started from our philosophy is I packed 5 pairs of pants. So the pants that I picked were, it's actually more like 6, because on the plane I wore my leggings. I brought my black, and I kept with all skinny jeans. Like, this was a casual trip. I didn't want to bring all my fashion forward stuff, because then it was going to be, I had to think about shoes differently and tops. So these were actually new. I bought these, and these are the jeans that work for me. These are 7s, 7 of Mankind. I love them. So I bought a new blue and a new black. So those were my 2 jeans. Then I had my olive green Rag and Bone. So I could wear these inside my tall boots. They looked good with the Uggs. Then I have, these are Athleta. So old, but they're green. Super comfortable. We were in a car. My family's pretty casual. And then I had, you know, my, I never go anywhere without my joggers. And then I just packed, I did 4 sweaters. So I had this little sweater that I could wear under the green coat. I could put the blue puffer with it. This is really old, J. Crew, but the color story worked. Then I had this fun cream that I could wear with everything. And I brought this olive green, warm, fleecy to go over leggings. The only thing I didn't wear. I thought I was going to really wear that, and I didn't. And then I brought this black, this is kind of something I bought. I love this. It's a little bit more fashion forward. But I bought this. And the other pants, I brought 1 pair of dress pants, a little bit more formal. They don't wrinkle. These are Vince. So I wore that out to dinner one night. And when I was packing, I always bring a shawl on the airplane. And I love this one because Sarah Zengo gave it to me as a gift. Hello, Sarah. I know you're over in the chat. And I brought this on the plane, and I wore it out to dinner with the all black. And again, it has the olive, it has the cream. So I lived in this sweater because I'm always cold, and I was cold. I wore it with the cream sweater. And of course you can see it's got the cream and the black and a little bit of orange. So I only dressed up one night. And I also brought the blouse that I'm wearing, and I didn't wear it because we didn't really dress up. And I brought one other blouse that was kind of dressy, and I didn't wear that. So I hope that this is making sense. And then my secret weapons when I travel are these layering pieces. So I bought my Majestic long sleeve tee that I lived in. You know, I was able to I found a yoga place. I was able to just put this on, throw a pair of leggings on, and go. I also, when it's going to be a cold climate, I took this out of my ski wardrobe. So this is a Spider. Do you guys know that brand? So I usually wear this skiing, but I took it and it looked so great with all the coats. Sarah just said, what was your plain outfit? I think I said that. I wore the little black jacket, the raincoat, so I wouldn't have to put it in my suitcase. And I just put a black shell and my black stretch pants and sneakers. That's what I wore on the plane. And I had the shawl with me, which I used as a blanket. That's what I wore on the plane. But these layering pieces, and I brought this little tan one. they just, to me, polish everything, give you that extra layer. And I had this green one, this green turtleneck one that I love. So very lightweight pack. And then I also brought a knit outfit. We had lunch with my mom's cousins, super fun. I wanted to be a little bit dressy for that. So I don't wear this all that often. It's not really my favorite thing, but it's a knit kind of vesty top with the skirt. I put tights on for the first time this year. I didn't like that. And of course I had this little underpinning underneath. And I only brought one scarf. I bought a lot of scarves when I was there. I'll show you those in a minute. But I had this scarf that just worked with everything. So I bought a pair of socks. I brought my bucket hat. Where did that go? My little bucket rain hat. And I brought my backpack. I bought, it could hold my umbrella. I had a water bottle over here. And I had a crossbody bag. And this is a vintage Coach that was my mom's that I took out of her closet a couple months ago. And it just was the perfect thing. I also ended up buying 2 bags when I was there because I shopped. So I'll show you what those were. But I'm just trying to give you like the rundown. I've been meaning to do this shopping thing for a while. Somebody's saying, Pat Kelly, how big was your suitcase? Very normal size. Everything packed right into the suitcase. And then I had my knapsack, which to me is super comfortable. I got my hat in here. I got the shawl in here. Of course, I don't go anywhere without my People magazine. That's my guilty pleasure. The minute I hit the airport, I buy a People. And I also read this book. How many, put in the chat if you read this book, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Loved it. Look at the green. It was a green theme. But I finished this. That's how checked out I was. I finished this book on vacation. I didn't really go out pubbing late at night. I was in my PJs, happy to be in my PJs reading. And then I finished it on the, it's our book club read. And I can't wait to read it, to review it with the gals in my book club, because I just liked it. So I hope, if you haven't read a good book in a while, I highly recommend that. Sarah can get that in the chat. So I think I got it. I think I told you everything that I brought. I'm reading it off my board here. And now let me go into what we did, the trends that I saw, and what I bought, because I have so much stuff here to show you. Oh my goodness. So you guys all know that hot pink has been a trend here in the United States, and it's certainly big over in Ireland as well. And the color combination that I was obsessed with was the hot pink and the green. It was everywhere. It kept grabbing my eye. As I told you, I think of travel as an exciting thing to plan for. It gets my creative juices flowing. And when I finally get there and relax into the culture, it is like eye candy for me. I love to be in a new culture. I like meeting new people, seeing how they live, and of course the fashion. I was like in Zara in Dublin in a New York minute. Literally, we landed on Friday. We were deciding, should we stay up? Should we go to bed? It was 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning Boston time. We had a cup of coffee, and we hit Grafton Street, and we went into Zara for like 2 hours, and I shopped. I'll show you what I got. But this color combination, and I run a leadership circle on Zoom with some of our clients, and Kristen Rupert had on a blazer this color, and Karen Spernarkis had on a beautiful green blouse on the screen last night during our call, and I just couldn't, I was going crazy with that combination. Hello, June, I see you. Hi there. She's saying, hi, girl. So that was like number one. The other huge trend that I saw over there, and of course I indulged, there was just long vests. Now, I've been talking about vests for a long time. I see Alexandra. Hello, Alexandra. I just always think of you, Alexandra, when I think of vests, because we've had so much fun building your vest collection. But the ones over there were all long. And I bought this, and it's going to my sister, who's about 2 inches taller than me, because it's a little bit long. But we got there on Friday, ran around, it rained, we hooked up with my nephew, went to a pub for dinner. It was the only night that I didn't love the meal, because after that one pub night, we were like, okay, we're getting good food. And there was awesome food there. You just had to be strategic. The pub food wasn't that great. And then Saturday, it started out beautiful. We were on Grafton Street, and we were at that really cool the Temple Bar, that whole area. There was brides and grooms everywhere. I mean, again, the style and the streets were alive. There was bands, music, heard this just amazing singer that my sister-in-law and I were just so taken with. But it was hot and sunny, and then we went for a walk over that famous bridge, and it was freezing to the point where I ended up going back to the hotel. We stayed at the Grafton Hotel right on Grafton Street. Highly recommended. It was just so awesome. It was a boutique hotel. And then the next day, I got up and went to yoga, and the other gals went to church, and it was freezing out. So I went to this other store called Dunn's. It was like Lord and Taylor. It was like, I miss Lord and Taylor. This amazing store. And I had about 2 hours before I had to meet those guys to go to the Guinness factory, which was another must-do if you go there. So I was on a mission to get a long vest because I had this coat on. So what I did was I ended up putting this under the coat. And I don't know if you can see that, but it added length to the coat. And then I put my high black boots on. I think that's the day I wore my black ski shell. And then I had that scarf, and it just really worked. Now, the reason I'm sending this to my sister is she put it on and it fit her perfectly, and she just had that much more height. But that's one of my tips for you, is if you are someone that likes vests, and I've been using them forever, I love how you can put a vest on. And my sister-in-law one day wore my navy vest because it was warmer out when we went west. And you can really add a lot of warmth. So I did that. But the biggest damage that I did was at Zara. For those of you who saw, the post that I did on the cocoon puffer jacket, I was obsessed with it. Now, the other big trend I saw over there was unisex. There was stores that were for both. They weren't for just men or women. They didn't even have male and female departments. And Zara had a whole area of unisex. So I was obsessed with that jacket. I tried it on with the girls. Then I went back with my nephew because I took him shop. They were going on some tours. We went to the Book of Kells. They were going on this post office tour. And I looked at my nephew and he's like, can you help me get some pants? I'm like, come on. So we ended up going to H&M, and then we went back to Zara. And I put the coat on again. He took that picture, but it really was too big. So they looked for an extra small for me. They couldn't find one. And then they said they're not in the United States. So I didn't get the coat. I wish I just got it just to get it. Yeah, so that was Zara. The other things I got, and I hope my boys aren't watching, Zara over there is very different than Zara here. I got this for my son John, and the favorable exchange rate made all of these things so affordable. But this has got a little fur lining. So I got that for John for Christmas. And then when you have twin boys, you don't buy one without buying the other. I got this for my Timmy, and it's water resistant, and it had the fur in it. And the funniest thing is, Timmy's not my fashion guy. John likes the clothes. But I was talking to Timmy Monday night, and I said, do you need anything? And he said, Mom, I really need a warmer jacket. So I just thought that was so funny that I had picked this out for him. But with the exchange rate being so good, I paid around $60 for these coats. So that was kind of cool. And the other thing, so I shopped in there. I got a couple other smaller things. I didn't bring them down to share you. I also picked up, because it was cold, I got this little wool hat. And again, when you know your color story, I just loved how it's actually black and cream, but I love how it kind of connected to the coat. So I wore that on that, I guess it was Sunday that was really, really cold. So then we went to the Guinness factory, and oh my word, how can you go there without, you know, when I travel, I do all of my Christmas shopping. So these are from my boys. I got a blue one for Tim. I got this one for my husband. And I ended up buying like all my guy gifts in the store there. The other thing is when I was at Zara, yes, I did buy underwear for stocking stuffers. I ended up buying this bag, which I absolutely love, and it was $40. And this is what I packed everything in to bring home. So I got the 2 coats in here. I got that vest I bought a whole bunch of other stuff, the t-shirts I'm going to show you. But that was another strategy, is I actually bought the bag, and I just love it. Love it, love it. So how are we doing on time? Okay, I gotta go quick. So the long layering vests, the unisex was a hot trend. The other thing is when I was at this really cool store, Dunn's, that was just the greatest, I ended up buying, I brought nylons with me, but I had some time, and I got these velvet opaque nylons. And I just want to tell you that, look at the denier. These are 100%. These were just fantastic. So I had nylons on for the first time. But, you know, when you have time, like really, sometimes I just stock up on stuff. And of course, this fit in the suitcase, no problem. So I think that's it. Oh, I also got my Susie Q a little Irish sweater, and I was going to have her model it, but the poor little thing is in a cone. She's doing the cone of shame. She got an infection on her belly when I was away that she's picking at, so I couldn't get this on her, and it was my intention to have her in this, but I got this. The one thing that happened to us on this trip was we ran out of time before we bought the Irish sweaters. So we were in Dublin, like on the first day, and we saw so many, but we're like, oh, we'll find one. And so we went from Dublin to Limerick to Galway. Galway was also just beautiful. And we just didn't get the sweaters. I got this for Susie in Adair, another really cool town. And we didn't, so when we were shopping on our last day in Galway, I was like, we've got to get this done, girls. Like we came to Ireland, we're bringing home something. So we landed in this beautiful store, and they just had the best scarf. So we were in there we did major damage in there. We were in there for a while. They had beautiful jewelry and scarves. So I got this one for me. What do you think? Isn't it pretty? I love it. I'm obsessed with this brownish color. So that one's for me. Of course, I got Susie the sweater. And my mom got this green one, and my mom is dark Irish and just looked amazing in this. I have a picture. I posted a picture. But the cool thing is you can do this. So I just think scarves are the greatest look, and they're such a moment. These are all cashmere. They say where they're made in Ireland. So that was one. And of course you can do it this way. And we were tucking it. So that was from my mom. I got this little purple one. Just look how different they look in the different colors. So, and then I also got the hat, just to have a set. I am a set girl, so I thought that was really cute. And then my sister, who lives in Dallas and really couldn't do, and my sister-in-law got one of these too. I found this scarf that she just fell in love with, and look how cool this is. And I bought these for gifts as well. So you can take this and put it here. She looked so sharp in it, my sister. Whoops-a-daisy. Wait a minute. What am I doing? Hold on. I know I'm going a little late tonight, but this is kind of fun. I want you to see the effect of this scarf. And that's what I love to do. I think scarves are the best souvenir, especially when you shop. You know, I bought 2 winter coats I had to get home. But isn't that so pretty? Am I doing it right? I can't see myself. I hope I'm doing it right. But you can wear this like 100 ways as well. And then, she doesn't know it, but I bought her, I hope she's not watching. I got this little guy with it. I thought was really cute. Just, you know, to kind of, oh, I'm wrecking my hair here. How do you do it? So what do you guys think? So we just had so much fun, and then we wore these last night because it was chilly. But that's what I bought. And I think I've made a big old mess here. I think that's my program for the night. I was going to show you the things that didn't make the cut in the suitcase. I know that all of you love the packing tips, so put in the chat if you like tonight's program. I had an amazing time in Ireland, and I just want to again thank my mom for taking us, and I think it's my new favorite place on earth. So I hope you all got 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 tips on packing, trends, maybe got motivated to start doing your holiday shopping. But I'm feeling very blessed, very happy, very calm. I came back. Thank you to my team who kept everything running. We're just having such a great year, and I set the intention in January that I was going to travel more. And I'm telling you, when you start setting intentions, all of a sudden the opportunities just come into your life, and I'm just so glad a trip to Ireland popped on my calendar and that I said yes, because I had a blast. So thank you all for showing up. You know what we say, when you show up, we show up, and we are always happy to share our tips and strategy. Next week we have a new blog coming up, so we will do our live from there, and we also have some wonderful guests coming up in November. It is the season of gratitude, and I just want to be one of the first to say thank you for all of you, for all you do to show interest and support of our message. It means more than you might ever know. So until next week, have a great rest of the night. Have a great week, a great weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful weather here in New England, and we'll see you again next week. See you later. Bye-bye.